Hello everyone, this is Bhavna here again, and thank you guys for joining this seminar. So before the seminar begins, I would just like to give you some points that you need to remember at the time of seminar. So everyone would be keep your mics mute unless you have any queries, and whatever doubts you have, please mention your queries in the chat box. So at the end of the seminar, the sir will be checking up all the queries and will give you the solutions for the same. All right. So yeah. So many of you have the doubts regarding PR, and a lot of people call me up regarding the same. How it works, what it is exactly. So for all the queries today, you will find the solution, and Pratham sir will be taking up all your queries today. So today's seminar is conducted by Mr. Pratham Bharat. I think most of you know already who is he. He's the co-founder of our Zell, and he's also an ACCA member itself. So you will be able to relate all the with him many properly. And also one of the ACC team member will be joining with us. So you can ask them as well if you have any kind of issues. All right. So I would just request that Pratham sir to take forward the seminar.
Thanks so much, Bhavna. Um, so, Sharik, are you there? Can you just put yourself also on video so that everyone can discuss with us? Bhavna, just see to it, na? Sharik has any problem, then to fix it.
Hi, yes, Pratham. I'm unable to
Sure.
switch on my camera. Meanwhile, I'll just work with Bhavna to get it sorted, and you can please continue the session. Yeah.
Awesome. So, guys, first of all, at any point of time, if you all have any queries, please put it in the chat box so that we can keep. I'll try and resolve it. Anyways, there'll be a big we can keep questions open at the end. That's anyways going to be open. But at any point, if you guys have anything, just put it in the chat box. Okay. So, Sharik, I'm going to take them through PR and the presentation. At any point, you need to. Sorry, somebody's unmute. Bhavna, just take care of it now. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just start with the basic presentation, and I'm going to infuse all the concepts of PR, whatever you guys had doubts in and all of that. And then anytime you'll have any doubts, start putting it in the chat questions. So let me just get started. Okay. So PR, first of all, is practical experience requirement. Along with the exams of ACCA, once you complete it, if you complete only the ACCA exams, you guys become ACCA affiliates. It's only when you complete the practical experience requirement that you all become an ACCA member. So the difference between affiliate and member is affiliate only has the exams cleared, but a member has exams as well as his entire experience validated by ACCA. So when you go out in the real world, people don't take you for only theoretical knowledge. They know you've gone through enough experience that you have what it takes to be a fully qualified chartered accountant. So, by the way, can you guys see my cursor? Bhavna, is my cursor available so I can point it out whenever I'm...
Yes, it's available.
Great. Okay. So, we are going to be discussing, there are 3 essential legs for PER, which we are going to get into right now. Okay. So PER has 36 months of work experience which you need to go through. It has something known as performance objectives, and there is the ethics module. Once you complete these 3 things, you basically will complete your PER. I'm going to take you all now through each of these 3 things in depth, so that based on where you are, some of you must have not started anything in PER, some of you must have partially completed it. Whatever it is, this should basically clarify all your doubts in regarding PR. So before I move ahead to actually get into these in-depth discussions, anybody has any questions so far, please put it down. So at least I can start addressing them from now. Okay, and by the way, whenever you all have any questions, anyways, you all will put it in. So I'm just going to get it started. Okay, so work experience is the heaviest of the 3 legs of PER. If you can finish the work experience, which is of 36 months or 3 years, you're sorted. That's the major chunk of PER. Now I'm going to take you through it one by one. So hopefully it becomes more and more clear. First question is, what work experience do all of us need? Guys, as long as the work experience is revolving around finance or accounts, ACCA will count it as your work experience qualified for ACCA. So don't work in, like, you know, maybe if you have your dad's business, for example, don't work in the operations or the marketing department. Obviously, as long as you all are working in finance and accounts, it will qualify towards PER. Second, now, any sector, any industry. This means that unlike your CA friends who actually have to only work in a CA firm for their articleship to be counted, in ACCA, you are allowed to work in any industry. You can work in a restaurant as long as you're working in their accounting department. You can work in Amazon as long as you're working in their finance or accounting department. You can work in literally any company in any sector. Doesn't have to be in the CA world. But in that company, you guys have to work in finance and accounting. Okay. Now, fourth point is no restrictions on shifting company. Again, it's related a little bit to articleship. CAs, when they start their articleship in any firm, they've got to stick to that company for almost the entire articleship period. Like, they can leave in the last 1 year, but most people stay in one firm for their entire 3 years. In ACCA, now the advantage is you can literally, in those 3 years, in your 36 months, you can shift 36 companies if you want. You can work in various different companies. You can work 3 months in different companies. You can work in various sectors. As long as you have a cumulative experience of 36 months in the field of finance or accounts, you will be able to qualify this leg of PER. So any sector, you can shift into multiple companies. And the best part is, when you shift it, there is no restriction that you've got to, when you start your work experience, you have to finish all 36 months in one shot. You can work for, let's say you work for a year, then you take 3 months ka break, and then you continue again. So whenever you continue it, your number of months will it'll continue from the last month you left off. So you work for 12 months, take a 2-month break. When you start again, your 13th month will start from that time. So the flexibility that they have is different from what CAs have. CAs, when they start, they've got to complete it all in one shot. So that's another flexibility that ACCA has given here. Now, this is an extremely important point. Your immediate senior or even the highest level in your company, the person does not have to be a chartered accountant. Again, like articleship, you need to work in a CA firm because you need the person who signs the work experience. He needs to be a qualified chartered accountant. In ACCA, for this leg of PER, for your work experience, if you work under your dad, for example, and your dad is the head of the company, he's not a chartered accountant, but you're working in the accounting department of his company, he can sign it off. There is no issue. So it's a very important thing that you find, that you ensure that you are working, that you don't have a CA above you. That's a lot of people have asked us this in the past. This is also not going to be an issue. The last point here is that you can complete it before, during, or after your ACCA exams. This essentially means that a lot of people who start ACCA, they start working at different times. For example, I have started working after my 6th paper. So many people start after 4 papers. Some people start only after they finish the first 9 papers. And some people say that, okay, I want to only focus on my exams. I'll finish all 13 papers, and then I'll start working. The option or the flexibility of when to work, in what chunks, in what field, in what industry is all on you. The only thing you guys need to do is complete a total of 36 months in accounting or finance department of any company. Okay. Now, that being said, these are the major points of work experience questions that we get. Now, our recommendation, which all of us always tell people, is ideally, guys, start working anywhere after you finished around, let's say, 7, 8, 9 papers. That's a good time to start. Okay, it's not compulsory. It's a recommendation. Many people start before. Most people start after. But a suggestion is start working when you're at your 7th, 8th, 9th paper approximately. It's a good time. Also, even though ACCA is giving us the flexibility of not working in a CA firm, I suggest do work in a CA firm. It's good to have the traditional financial and accounting experience that CA firms provide. It can be a small CA firm, it can be mid-size, or it can be one of the large brands. Not a big deal. But it's better because you actually get exposure to various different industries from a chartered accountant's point of view. So if this base of yours is strong, it makes a huge difference when you actually apply at a higher level in some other industry. So try working in a CA firm if possible. Make sure that your senior is a chartered accountant, and try and stick to one company for at least a year and a half. Shifting the companies is good, but if you do too much of it, you'll never really get in-depth experience of overall finance and accounts. So our recommendation is this, that work in one CA firm for at least a year and a half. If you get a good Big Four or Grant Thornton or BDO kind of companies, jump into it. Just be sure that when you are working, guys, if you have papers left, it's more important that in your interview, you tell them that your papers are every quarter and they should give you leaves every quarter before your exams, because those last 7 days, 10 days of your studies, if you have a break in that, the chances of you clearing the exams is much higher. It shouldn't be that you get hired and then they tell you when your exams are coming by that we can't give you a leave because it's season time, or the company tells you guys that no, don't give this coming quarter exam because we are going to be super busy. You give it in the next quarter. So all these things try and avoid when you are at the interview level. It's okay to work in a small company which is giving you flexibility to study and gain work experience, rather than go for a big brand which is going to basically squash your studying, the amount you're going to study with the leaves and all of that. So that is more important. The flexibility to study is more important than the brand. We recently, Bhavna had sent all of you guys this opening that we got from Grant Thornton. Now, because we have a tie-up with GT allows most of these exams and the leaves and all these conditions for ACCA students, it allows. So that time it's okay. Try and not work in a company where it's going to be a little suffocating for you all to manage studies and work. So this is to do with the entire work experience leg of PER. It's the first one and the most important one. Okay. Sharik, if you have anything to contribute, please do so right now.
No, I think Pratham, you have explained, quite very well. Quite an elaborate session has been going on till now. I believe we have some of the questions. So is it okay if we can take this question on? Do we will be taking it later?
No, let's do it. No.
Sure. So
you can take the first one.
Sure. So one of the question we have received from Yash Jain states that does Indian CA firm will work for PR? Definitely yes, Yash. As Pratham, rightly mentioned, we do recommend, to get your internship from an Indian CA company, or as you can take it from any other company as well. But here, if you are talking, specific about articleship, yes, your articleship will be considered. So if you have done articleship, that is ICI articleship, so it will be considered and it will help you in satisfying your ACCA PR criteria. Same way, if you have work experience in any Indian CA company, so it will be considered to satisfy your PR criteria. So here we won't be bifurcating where you have worked exactly. So it doesn't make a difference even if you're working in an Indian CA company or in a multinational company. That remains the same. It's just that you have to work in a relevant accounting and finance role. I hope I have answered your question, Yash.
Yep. So Yash, simple, flat out answer is yes. Indian CA firm will work for PR. Okay. And coming to forum, Sharik, again, please, you can take this one.
Sure. So forum, I have completed my entire CA with 3 years of articleship completed. It will be counted as correct. So yes, as I've said this forum, yes, as you have completed your articleship from ICAI, so that will be considered to satisfy your ACCA PR criteria. It's just that you have to get the articleship letter from ICAI and the same you have to submit to us. And then yes, basis on that, your PR criteria will be satisfied.
Correct. So to forum's point, if you see the last sentence, which is here, that you can complete the experience even before ACCA. So we actually have few experienced students who have a different work, who have work experience in different fields in the past, which is relevant to finance and accounts, and then they start ACCA. So for those people, their past experience can be counted for now.
Yes.
Right. For their PR.
That's a very relevant question, Forum. So even if if you have let's take n number of years of experience before joining ACCA, now you will be wondering whether that experience will be considered. Then yes, that experience will also be considered once you start filing your PR. So that's fine.
Right.
Yeah? So Umang says that having completed the PR criteria before the completion of results happens again. Yes. So Umang here, so you won't be getting exemption. So basically, we would be, as I said, the ICAI articleship letter is considered to satisfy the ACCA PR criteria. So yes, we would be validating your letter, and then accordingly, we would be, issuing the PR criteria to you. That's fine.
Sorry, can you repeat that, please? I'm sorry.
Okay, so Umang, what I was saying is like you have said, having completed the PR criteria before the completion of 36 months, does it help us gain exemption? So Umang, can you, throw some more light in your question?
Sure. So I have been working with the Big Four for the past 2 years,
Okay.
and I was going through the PR criteria requirements, which are 14, and 5 are essential, and the remaining 4 are optional, right? So undergoing those requirements, I understood that I have completed about 10 of those.
Okay.
Right. So till now, as on date, I have not filed my PR requirements, the criteria, with my senior manager there. So now I'm in a dilemma that should I rejoin Deloitte and complete my experience there because I've got openings still left up, or is it fine that since I've completed my PR requirements, I can continue my studies further since the requirements are fulfilled and my duration for the PR is the
Yes,
question there.
Umang. So as we have said, it doesn't matter that even if you have experience, before joining ACC, that will be considered. It's just that So basically, once you start filing your PR, you also have to give details of your supervisor. So
Yes.
as you have worked in Deloitte, so
Yes.
here you have to give your supervisor details, and he would be validating your experience. So you have to ensure that you are in touch with your supervisor. So we would be validating your experience directly with your supervisor, and so you don't have to go. Yeah.
So if I've completed my requirements, it's not mandatory that I complete my 36 months requirement for PR. If I've completed the requirements within, say, maybe 2 years.
So one second, Sharik, let me just take this now. So Umang, first of all, I'm going to show how you have to record your experience at the in the next couple of slides. But more importantly, what you're talking about is the second leg, which I'm going to come to, which is performance objectives. Okay, the 9 things you're talking about, those are different than the 36 months. The 36 months of work experience has to be completed. There is no exemption of that, right? So I'll just come to the second, the point you are asking, right?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, guys. This is actually the questions are going longer. So
I think Pradhan, we should complete. So I think we should complete our presentation and then we should go ahead with the questions.
So so Payal, Anushri, and Divras, these all three have messaged. I will for sure answer each of the questions towards the end. Let me just get through the few of the other slides first. Okay, so I'm going back one slide to show you all that. See, right now I explained you all the 36 months of work experience. This has to be done. We just discussed how it has to be done, what are the flexibilities, and how the mindset should be with respect to when to start and things like that before you all take up this 36 months of work experience. Now, I'm coming to the second leg, which is called performance objectives. Okay. Now, first of all, before you all read anything, performance objectives, what is that? Think about performance objectives, that those are certain objectives that you will have to achieve in order to complete this leg of PR. Now, these objectives are very simple in the sense they automatically will be fulfilled in your work experience. So the objectives that ACCA wants us to complete are things which are a little basic. So such as we have to demonstrate leadership skills. We have to show that we are ethical. If you worked in, let's say, an audit department, they want you to show that you've achieved the objective of actually planning an audit. Or if you're working in tax, they want to, the ACCA wants us to show that we've achieved the objective of filing a tax return. So ACCA has a list of these objectives, which we can choose which ones we want to achieve. So objectives are like that. If you all are not understanding this, it's okay, because by the time I'm done with it, I'll give a couple of examples, they'll become clear. Okay, so first point is there are overall 9 of objectives which we guys need to achieve, out of which the first 5 are mandatory. I'm going to show these 5 when I show you all the live. I'll log into one of the accounts and show you all the actual PER page and stuff like that. These 5 include things like demonstrate leadership, demonstrate ethics, demonstrate strategy, and I'll explain how to even fulfill those objectives. And then there are 4 technical, as you can see, 4 objectives that are technical. Now these 4 are actually, you have to choose from 17 different objectives. You have to choose any 4. And these 4 depend on where you work. So if you, like I was giving an example, if you worked in the tax department, you can choose objectives which are related to tax. ACCA has options to prove that we worked in the tax department. Otherwise it's audit, or it's financial management, or it's advisory. So there are these lists of objectives which we need to fulfill, and most of the time it automatically gets fulfilled in your work experience. So you don't really have to sort of do it separately. Okay. Now, the second point is you have to demonstrate your experience as a trainee. That is what I said. Now, this is it important. Based on the objective. So I'm going to use a basic example that let's assume that the objective we have to achieve is show that we have filed a tax return. If that's the objective that you have chosen, right? You have to demonstrate to ACCA in 200 to 500 words and add a small example in real, like actually what you all have done, so that when somebody reads it, they understand that, okay, this student has actually completed this objective in those 200 to 500 words. Okay, so you choose the technical option, you use the performance objective that you are looking at fulfilling, answer how you achieved it in 200 to 500 words with an example. So that is what this third point means. Again, guys, if you're not getting clarity on it, it will become clear once I show you all. For those who are understanding, please stay with me, okay? Look at the fourth point. Extremely, extremely different from the previous one and very important. In this particular case, right, your senior who's going to validate that, yes, this, for example, if it's Sharik is a student, then, and I'm his senior, then Sharik, when he achieves his objectives, he shows me those 200 to 500 words that he has to punch in to show how he's fulfilled that objective. If I'm a senior, I have to approve it. I can disapprove it saying, no, all this is nonsense, Sharik has not done this. But if it's true, then I have to validate it. And when because I'm a senior, ACCA will take my validation as the final word. But when I'm validating it, I need to be a chartered accountant, or I need to be an ACCA, or I need to be something known as a member of IFAC. Now, most of you all would know IFAC, but for those who don't, IFAC is a global accounting body which actually authorizes and licenses bodies in different countries. So, India's ICAI, the Indian CA body, is a member of IFAC. ACCA is a member of IFAC. So, as long as an ACCA or a CA member validates your performance objective, ACCA will count it as a go-ahead. Which brings, and if you remember, I'm going back to the previous slide. In the previous slide, it is not necessary that your senior is a CA, but in this one, it is. So that is why the recommendation that Zell is giving you guys is that when you start working, make sure that your senior is a CA, so that not only your work experience, but even your performance objective is all fulfilled by one guy. It's not necessary, but it's a recommendation. Okay, and the last part is, you can complete this also along with or separately from a 36 months of work experience. So what this means is, like I was saying, the 9 objectives which you'll have to achieve will most likely get fulfilled in your 3 years of work experience. However, under the unlikely event that out of those 9 objectives, you could only complete 7 and 2 are pending, you can still do those 2 separately in your next job. It's not compulsory that all of this has to get completed in your 36 months. Many people get confused. So please keep in mind that they are separate. You can finish 36 months separately and your objectives separately. But our recommendation is keep them all together. It'll make your life easier. Right? And in this particular case, our objective is that, recommendation is that automatically, if you stay in a company for a long enough period of time with a CA, with a senior who's a CA, your first leg of 36 months of work experience and your second leg of performance objectives all will get done in the same time. My performance objectives, I could finish in 1.5 years by staying in one firm, which is why I'm recommending these things to you guys. So automatically, the kind of objectives ACCA wants us to achieve, they're more than manageable. So this is to do with performance objectives. Sharik, please, you can add anything if required.
Sure, Pratham, just one point, it's not like that you have to wait till 36 months, to start filing a PR. So even if you have only 1 year of experience, just start filing a PR in your MyCC account. So, so that at least you'll be having the idea how exactly, it is to file a PR. And then further on, then, it will enable you, then the things then will be much more smoother. So the only aim is like whenever you have, even if you have 4 to 5 months experience, just go ahead and start filing a PR. So this is what I would suggest. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Anyways, we'll show them this. So then after this, I'll recommend everyone at the end of this, once you all see how to record your PR. If any of you all have any experience at all, start recording it as soon as possible, because there is no need to wait for the end of your PR to record everything together. You can record it literally every 6 months or every 12 months just to keep it fresh and updated. Okay, so we finished 2 legs, your 36 months of work experience and your performance objective. Ideally, both of them should be done together, but it's not necessary. And now coming to the third and final leg, which is your ethics module. Now guys, EPSM is Ethics and Professional Skills module. What is this? First of all, it is not an exam, okay? Because a lot of people have asked me this in the past. It's not an exam. Once you go into your 𝗫𝗍𝒂 account, there is this place, you click on it, and once you start, it's just they give you a few case studies which are to do with ethics. Most of us ideally will be able to answer it just out of common sense. It's not that it's something to study. And unless you're super unethical in life, you'll very easily be able to complete this in a couple of hours. It is like a small case study, and they ask you, what would you do in this scenario? You click it, move ahead. If it's wrong, if you weirdly select an unethical answer, they'll tell you, no, this is wrong. So you go back and select the right one and move ahead. And that way you finish the how much, 1.5 to 3 hours it will take, and you can finish your ethics module. It's the third leg of PER. You can complete it at any point of time. So I don't know if you guys know, but there are certain diplomas that you get. So after you finish the first 9 papers, you get a diploma, an advanced diploma in accounting and business by ACCA. The criteria for this diploma is you finish your 9 exams and you complete this EPSM module. Not compulsory, just for you to know. Okay. However, it is mandatory that if you want membership, you have to finish PR, and PR includes EPSM. So you can complete it any time to earn the affiliate or the member status. Acha, it is recommended to do it when you study SBL. Again, guys, if any of you are already passed SBL and you've not done EPSM, you'll know that it's not mandatory. It is a healthy recommendation. Do it. It's good. It'll help you maybe score a few extra marks. There's never a downside to it. It's £60 to complete. So you got to pay for it. It's mandatory to pay for it. And like I already said, it takes around 2 hours on an average to complete it. In this particular case, our recommendation is, guys, do it. It's not that, do it when you have time. It's not that hard. It's not that time consuming. Get it out of your head, move on, because it's supposed to be done for membership purposes. So that is about the ethics and professional skills module. Sharik?
Yes, Pratham, I think you've rightly covered almost everything. Even here, I would say, even if you have completed 9 papers, just give EPSM module. Don't wait, till you clear all your P-level papers. It's just that you can complete at any point of time. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So what are the next steps for all of us, right? So first, guys, please start it. Like what Sharik was saying, start recording it, start completing it. So example, if you are not working and you are managing your studies comfortably, take up the ethics module and finish it. If any of you all have already started working and it's been a few months, in this week, start recording it. Just get that experience of how to record it once. So you're crystal clear in your mind that, okay, I know how to do this. I don't have to really worry about PR, run to Makaranda Bhavna and ask questions, or any panic that basically I've seen people go through for PR. It's not that complex. So just, chill, finish it, aram se, start it, for example, whenever you can. Again, see, it's very simple. I'm saying there's no rush. But if you have the time, take it out and just start recording and finish it. It's going to be easy. And now the final thing, I'm going to take you guys through the 𝗫𝗍𝒂 account of one of our students who has partially completed it. So for most of you guys who don't have anything in your PER clear, you guys will now see how it looks, basically how to go through each of those 3 legs, how to record it, and once you record it, what will it show? so that you have complete clarity on PR at the end of this. Okay. So after I'm going to take you all through this, then we'll go through the Q&A at the end of it. Okay. So just 1 second, guys. I'm just. Can you all 1 second? Are you all able to see the screen? Sharik, is it clear?
Yes, Pratham, I can see it.
Just 1 second, guys. So this is bad timing, Sharik, if this doesn't work now.
Oh dear. The website is up and running.
Oh man, you guys are really in bad luck here if it doesn't work.
Makran, I'm so sorry, Pratham. Try via incognito mode, it should work.
Yeah, okay.
Just try once.
Guys, if any of you guys who are listening, if you all can just try logging in and telling us that you all are able to log in or not, so it'll give us some clarity if the website is off or not.
Yes, we are able to log in.
You can? Okay, good. So then. Awesome. Okay. So this is a Zen who's almost completed all his papers. He's been with us for a long time. So it's his account. So I'm going to quickly take you all through how to basically go through the PER recording. Okay. I'm assuming most of you have at least once in your life logged into my ACCA, because you should basically be able to understand what am I showing you all and stuff like that. If you all are absolutely new and you all have no idea, my ACCA account is your profile or your ACCA portal. Everything will be over here for you guys. So I'm going to take you all through all the things. See, this is the 36 months of work experience I was talking about. This is the performance.
I'm so sorry to disturb you, Pratham.
Yeah.
I don't think students are able to see the screen.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I mean,
I'm sure.
Yeah, can you just see to it again? Like we
Yeah,
can see this or error
sorry.
page.
Is it clear now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Guys, so I'll just take you all through how I came here again. So see, when you log into my ACCA, guys, this is what is generally shown. For those who've never logged in, please do log in once at least, because it's absolutely mandatory. I hope nobody has never logged into their my ACCA. You scroll down and here is record your practical experience. Okay, now see this part, employment. This is your 36 months of work experience. Zen has completed 17 out of 36 months. This is how it would show. For most of y'all who have not started, this will show as 0 months. The whole thing will be gray. This is performance objectives. This is where you'll be able to see this. And I'll show you all the ethics module at the end. So let's start with this. 36 months of work experience, how to record it, what is the step-by-step procedure. Right. Now look, Zen works at GT. Okay, he's put the details of, he started last year in April till now, it's been 17 months. When you add look at this, he has to add all the details. He has to add the details of his employer over here, meaning his senior, who is a CA, so that when he actually submits the fact that, okay, I've completed more months, an email will go from ACCA to his senior, asking the senior that has then completed so many more months under you, under this role, under audit, in case of Sharik, Zen. So the senior will then reply to ACCA by saying yes, and then ACCA will record this 17 months. So if for anybody who's new, here 0 months, you have to click on add new employer. You fill in all the details, and then after you fill it, they'll ask, you can then show how many months you've completed in what profile. Then it will go to your senior. So guys, try and ensure that the senior, that the employer who you're going to be naming is a CA. It would be much more beneficial for you guys. So that is how to record it. On top of this, guys, like I said, if you're a shifting company, you keep adding new employers again and again so that each of your months are recorded. So it could be that the 17 months, which is 7 months is under one employer, 10 months is under another one, the next few months under another one. So you can have multiple employers, different fields, working in different fields. The process of recording PR is the same. Most of you guys, I know, unfortunately, will record it right at the end, but it's a little confusing to remember what happened over the last 3 years. So it's better to keep recording it at least once in 6 months, if nothing else. So like every 2 quarters when you finish exam, start recording. This would be a recommendation again. Right. So this is about employee. Is Sharik there, Pavna?
Yes, Pratham, I'm there.
Okay. So Sharik, anything in this which you would like to add?
No, Pratham, I think really you have covered almost everything. Yes. So it's a very simple process. It's just that you have to, fill in quite few details, and more importantly, so basically the important part is how are you, descripting the summary. You have to write a quite, brief summary, not more than, I believe, 50-60 words. It's just that you have to present a very proper picture so that our team can review it, and then, it normally it gets accessed by our team which sits at HO, and then they review it, and then it's done. It takes around 2 to 4 days of time, to put it forward and to accept your PR. So that's it. That's all about it.
Great. So that's pretty simple, guys. Just the summary is basically that, yeah, I'm working in this company, in this department for this many months, and just submit it. It will be sorted. So this is to do with the 36 months of experience. Again, this is called the first leg, or at least at Zell, we call it the first leg of PR. Now coming to the second leg, which is your performance objectives. Now, this is what most of you all were, I was saying again, I'll show you all. See, look at this, guys. So essentials is those 5 which you have to do, and technical, you have to choose 4 out of all these. First, let me show you a little bit about technical. Okay, let me just give you all an idea. Let's say that any of you all are working in audit. Okay. So now look at this particular objective. Prepare for and plan the audit and assurance process. If any of you guys are working in audit, this would have by default been done, because before you go to a client for audit, you would sit with your senior, you would discuss what happened in the past with this client, you would discuss the client's little bit of business model and his financials, so that you are prepared to go for the new year's audit. So this entire discussion that you had with your senior is this: prepare for and plan. So all you have to do is explain this experience with your senior in 200 to 500 words. That's it. So look at this objective: prepare and complete. You start. Okay. These are the, okay, forget all these elements and all. You don't have to really worry too much about it. You basically have to ensure that all these elements are sort of fulfilled. Sharik, does it have to be all these elements, or does it have to be any of these elements?
So it's not mandatory that you have to, go through each and every element. So that's fine. If you're going with any one of them, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. And once Zen starts completing a few of his mandatory ones, one more thing will open up here, which will give him examples of what kind of objective answers he has to give. So I'll show you all. Now come back to this one. Look at this. Ethics and professionalism. Guys, you have to demonstrate that you're ethical. It's so obvious that you can do it. Right? So even if you just read this fundamental principles, blah, 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 it just says that you have to be basically ethical. These are the elements. Take your time, read it. It's not complex. And here is where you need to explain in 200 to 500 words. How is it that you've demonstrated your ethics and professionalism? Once you do that, you save it, you submit it, it will go to your senior, he will approve it, and it is done. You will be done with 1 out of 9 objectives once you write over here what your ethical demonstration is. And to help you all, here are examples. So I'll show you all one which, okay, look at this one. Using digital technology to analyze and evaluate data from variety of sources, ensuring integrity and security of data. Any which ways, most of the, when you guys are working, most of the data which is confidential, which is secure, you can use that saying that, look, I had, your firewall and IP protected password, and my laptop was basically secured, and I ensured that all the Excel files had, sheets properly logged XYZ. Demonstrate that you've been ethical, you've not misused it, you've not let it just, spread out, and it will be accepted. So I'll tell you one thing, guys. When I used to work in a company called PwC, and there was this insane incident that happened. Okay, it was damn scary actually. What happened is, we had a lot of client information which we had sort of, and a lot of bundle of paperwork which all of us at the fresher level we would just put in our drawer niche, and it had become a huge pile. It was client data, but it was more of rough sheets and drafts and stuff like that. Now one day in PwC, an external party came up and said, guys, we are going to help you recycle paper. So everybody who has a lot of additional bunch of papers, please share it with us. We'll recycle it. Without thinking or realizing what we were doing, some of us freshers, we gave them that bunch of client papers, and we gave it to them just before they were going to take it. Somebody found out and stopped it. But if they would have taken it, even though they were drafts, that would be a huge breach of client confidentiality, and also then it would be automatically taken up as unethical on PwC's behalf. So these kind of things are basically what never happens. I'm giving you a very unrealistic, a very rare example. The flip side of this is most of the time you're going to be careful, most of the time you're going to be ethical. So you'll have hundreds of examples of where you can demonstrate this ethical and professional objective. Look at the second one, stakeholder relationship management. So stakeholders are literally internal and external. So whether it's your own company, seniors, juniors, partners, externally, if you have customers, as long as you're maintaining strong relations with them, it will be shown as an object. Give an example of how you maintained your relationship with this thing. Look at these examples, man. It's so simple. Communicating in a way that suits the audience, using the right tone. Any email you send will qualify for this in a long way. So these objectives are genuinely, it sort of, like I was saying, automatically gets covered in your 36 months of work experience. So these 5 are those mandatory ones. This is sort of at a macro level. And then these, so if you guys are working in reporting, so our faculty, Aditya works in financial reporting, Jigar used to work in financial management. We have people who work in tax, audit. Most of our students who are working right now are working in audit. So you'll be able to randomly pick any 4 of these, show it in 200, 400 words, submit it, and you're done. This is what performance objectives are. Right? Okay. Sharik, anything you'd like to add? I'm just going to show them the link to ethics module after this.
Please go ahead, Pratham. I think that's fine.
Yeah. Great. And so this is the second leg of your PR. And finally, the third one second, where is it? Yeah. So see, this is where your ethics module. Now, Zen has completed it. But otherwise, all you have to do is click over here, which is take your EPSN module. Sharik, approximately, on an average, you said how long will it take for them to finish?
Normally, it depends person to person. Someone takes around 2 to 3 hours. Some take more than that because there are a lot of modules which are in EPSN.
Got it.
So if you are setting in one shot, it shouldn't take more than 3 to 4 hours, I think.
3 to 4 hours. Okay. So on your MyC account, you come here, you click, you finish it in a few hours, and you are done with your ethics module. Once you're done with these 3 legs, guys, you all are done with your PR. This is how it will look as you guys complete it. And as you already saw, this is how it looks when your other things are also completed. That's it. It's that easy to complete your PR. So the easy part is recording. The tough part is going through those 36 months of experience. So this is how PR overall works. Okay, guys. So I have basically taken you all through the details of what I wanted to show for PR. Sharik, obviously being part of ACCA, has utmost knowledge about this. And now we can take questions for the ones which are remaining. Sharik, if you can take it, it'll be helpful. We can start from Payal. Payal Nayak.
Just a second. Yeah. So I can see questions from.
Okay, so I'll start. You can take. Should I go ahead?
I'm unable to see questions from. I can only see from questions from Umang. So 10 modules are each. I think I've missed.
Okay, fine, no worries. I'll. So Payal is asking, will work experience in an NBFC in the credit department be counted for PER? So guys, my first point is, before just Sharik, if anyone is confused, I've had some of our students question or who message me, a profile. I've had quite a profile. I have a few students who send me the profile before they took the job, which is a smart move, and asking that, will this be counted for my PER or not? Because the last thing you want is you work for a few months and then you realize that, oh, ACCA is not counting it only. So what we can do is we can take the profile, ask the company that what is my job description, and send the profile to ACCA, asking them that will this be counted? And once you get it in writing, then you're sorted. If not, then you've got to probably decide if you still want to take up that internship or you want to look for another job. So Sharik, please go ahead. NBFC.
Correct. As Pratham rightly said, you can always take a job description and send it to students@accglobal.com. Our team will give you a clarity whether this experience would be considered to validate your PER. And I believe, as per your experience, you would have already worked in accounting and finance role, right? So it will be considered.
Yeah. So if there's any ambiguity, Payal, then just email it to us or email it directly to ACCA and it'll get sorted. Okay. The next question is, it's come to me from Anushri that you'll be giving your first paper in December working in a CA firm. Do I need to take a break from working? No. If you're already working and are comfortable, there is no need to take a break. That was what I was telling you is what most people do. They prefer starting after a few papers and ensuring that they have flexibility of taking leaves per quarter to prepare for the exam. However, if you are yourself confident, not worried, you've already been working in the company, absolutely fine. No problem about it. Next question is from Bivraj. Sharik, this is for you. What is an ACCA approved employer? Should you do your internship with one? And what is the advantage that I will give you over a non-ACCA approved employer? And Sharik, just keep it to Indian companies so that everybody can relate.
Okay, fine. So basically, the only difference of getting an experience from an approved employer and a non-approved employer is once we get the letter, stating that, so basically, if you are working under an approved employer, you have to get a letter on the company letterhead stating that you have worked under this and this domain under this supervisor. So we would be reviewing that, and basis on that, we would be directly awarding you PR. So you have to write a summary, and again, you have to fill all the details. But here, the only part which we would be skipping is we won't be validating this experience with a supervisor. That is the only difference.
You won't be validating this experience with the supervisor. So they just submit it and it automatically gets approved. There is no require for validation. So it's one step lesser for that.
That's all.
And what kind of companies are in India are approved employers?
So recently we have tied up with QX, BDO. There are so many companies, I believe in India as of now, we have around 53 companies. These are only Indian companies who we have got on board. So we have a directory, which I would, I'll be sharing a link with Zell and they can share it with you all. So you can figure out which are the companies who are approved for, things become much easier. Yeah?
So Bhavna, when we send everybody the presentation also just for them, for their knowledge, add Sharik's link of approved employers in India also over there for everyone's knowledge.
Okay. Works for me.
Great. Okay. Then I think Umang asked one more question. So 10 modules are each of 2 hours or 10 modules are of 2 hours, a total of 2 hours. Are you talking about ethics module, Umang?
Yes, I think yes.
Okay.
So no,
so I think
in totality, it would be of 2 hours. So it's not like one module would be of 2 hours. So it would be a total of 2 hours.
Okay. Then, Shari, can you see Apurva's question?
Yes. With respect to PR, 13 months of work explanation, principal account officer, but during these 13 months experience, my reporting manager was changed twice. So can under whom I would work for 7 months? Yes. So that's fine. So even, if you're in the same company, if your manager has changed, but still, you can refer your present supervisor you can, suggest, or you can put up your present supervisor name as a reporting manager whom you were working before. He just needs to validate your experience. So we would be just sending an email to you saying that Mr. X has worked under this, and even though he was not a supervisor, but he still can, become a supervisor. That's fine.
So Apurva, if you have any specific concern after this also, no, we can connect to �𝗫 separately if it's something which is a point of confusion. Okay.
Sure.
�𝗫, next question I have from Bivraj is what firms, companies should you aim to work at if you want to move abroad? So I'll just take a little bit of that before you go ahead. So guys, if you all are looking at moving abroad, which companies to work in? So first of all, everybody who has this question, please listen very, very carefully. When you plan on moving abroad in a few years in the future, no, there are a lot of things you can plan, but these uncertainties are immense, right? From which country you want to go to, what kind of role you want to play when you reach there, what are the economic conditions going to be, what are the visa problems going to be. If I work here right now in a particular way that is expected to, let's say in the future, work in Singapore, and that's why you're doing it, it can change. So when you're planning on going abroad, just keep in mind that you've got to be flexible, you've got to be nimble. It might not go as per plan all the time. That is one. That being said, guys, if you are aiming at going abroad, by default, the logic is try and work in companies which are recognized across the world, right? So like the Big Four, GT, BDO, obviously. However, there are students as well as other ACCs which I personally know I can get you guys in touch with, who are in Canada, in UK, in Australia, in Dubai, and in a few other European countries. Their experience was a mix of working in normal companies which you may or may not have heard, as well as big brands. So a lot of things besides branded companies will also play a role in you moving abroad. So try and do whatever is best to go abroad. So work in branded companies, plan as far ahead as you can. Those are all pros. It's all on your side. And at the same time, be ready that there are things which can change, or even if things are not on your side today, in 2 years, it might flip, because that's how the entire immigration and those kind of laws actually work. A lot of companies, a lot of countries are opening their arms. So Canada and Australia are really opening their arms to people who are strong at accounting and finance from other countries. So right now, a country like Canada is relatively easy to get into than probably a UK. So just, these are a lot of students ask me very direct questions. If I want to move to this country and work in this kind of, JP Morgan or Merrill Lynch in the next 4 years, what do I do? I wish I could answer that in one shot, but it's a little prolonged and a little difficult. So that's a long answer to one short question, but yeah, that's the way you've got to prepare. Work in big companies if you want to go abroad, but that will not solve all your problems necessarily. �𝗫.
And also, just continuing to what Pratham has said, so we have our own portal, job portal website, jobs.accccglobal.com. And in this portal, we keep updating all the job postings, what we, get on a daily basis from each country. So let's take, if you are, wishing to move to a UK, so just go to that portal and select, which are the opportunities which are there specifically in UK, and pick up any company. And so basically you'll be able to know, okay, what are all the requirements which you need to fulfill, in order to get a job in this particular company, so that, you'll start preparing and working towards that direction. So it's always good, go to pick up any job posting and see what are the criteria they have mentioned, and, build up your skills to that level, so that, it will make it easier for you to get a job.
Yeah. Okay. The next question is, if someone has worked at 2 places each, being 36 months, does the student have the option of choosing between which employer to choose, or for recording the first leg? So if you worked in 2 places, both 36 months, you can choose either. You don't necessarily have to choose only the former.
Correct.
Okay, so I think for earlier was, I think that I hope I've answered that question. Next one.
I have a question from Saleha. She's asked, with respect to a performance objective, can the senior be a CFA? So yes, under IFAC umbrella, CFA is also a qualification. So even your reporting manager is a IFAC member, is a CFA, then he's eligible to sign on a PR. That's fine.
Awesome. Okay. �𝗫, I have a question which says, I'm currently working with GT, but registered under Walker 𝗔𝗖𝗖𝗔 and Co. LLP. Can my PER objectives be exempted, or will I still have to record them?
So here there is a catch, as you're saying. So basically, it totally depends whether you will be able to get that experience letter from GT. It says that you have worked under GT under this in this domain, verifying your experience. So if you are able to fetch this letter, then well and good. It will be treated as a GT is a approved employer. Then there won't be any further requirement.
Okay. And Shelly, my personal thing is that even in the worst case scenario, if you let's say don't get it right, as long as you work for a few months or a year or so, most of your PR will get covered. So guys, if you are at all worried about PR, you just have to spend a few minutes thinking about each objective, and you'll realize that you've achieved them somewhere in your months or years of experience. So get the PR exemption if you can. Try what Sharik said. See if you can get that letter. But if not, don't stress too much about it. Okay, Apurva saying, please share the link of the portal that you just mentioned, job portal. It's ACCA careers. Sharik, can you take that forward instead?
Sure, it's jobs.accglobal.com. I'll just share that link in the chat box right away. Sure.
Yeah, and Bhavna can include this in that email that she sends to everybody. Yash is asking, does the ethics module consist as a type of test which needs to be cleared? Sharik?
Okay. No, so basically the ethics module is nothing but a case study. So basically you would be going through a case study, and at the end of the case study, you would be asking a question. Let's take you are in a scenario, you are a CFO of a company, and the situation is this and this, and how would you be acting if you're in that situation? So basis on that, the module would be what's considered. So if you've given 80%, 90% answers are correct, then you'll be able to go through all this. Then you have to repeat the module again.
Yeah, so it's not a test. Simple. Yeah. You get the wrong answers, go back, get that. You can click it on the right one, move ahead. Ethics module is much more of common sense than actually studying for a test. Okay, Sharik, Umang is asking, for example, if the company is listed now as an approved employer but was not when he was doing the job, then can he still claim PER exemption?
Yes. Okay. That's a very important question. Yes, it will still be considered as an approved employer.
Okay. And lastly, Bivraj is asking, how can I get in touch regarding talking to ACCAs in other countries? So one is you can connect to us, the ones who we are in touch with. We can ask them if they would not mind talking to our students. Most of them will not. We'll connect you there. Second is go crazy on LinkedIn. You'll get more people than you can imagine who will be able to help you on LinkedIn. It's just a matter of connecting to them and asking them that, hi, I'm from this, I'm studying this. I would like to just discuss a couple of things with you. Do you mind? Send it to 5 people, 3 will reply only. And Sharik, do you think you guys can help our students connect to other ACCAs in different countries?
Definitely. So if you have any specific country in mind, so what just need to do? So we have this generic email ID, students@accglobal.com. Let's say if you wish to connect to someone from ACC, someone from Canada. So you just write an email to a student's body, and they will help you get connected to a local representative. That's fine.
Awesome. And that is the last question for now. That, as you said, CFA works. Does an MBA qualify for the same? Sharik? I don't know. I think we've lost. Bhavna, can you hear Sharik?
Hello, Pratham, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So no, normal MBA, no. So basically, they're not allowed to sign on a PR. So they have to be a IFAC body member.
Right. So yeah, so CA, ACCA, CFA all seem to work. Not an MBA for now. Also, please share the links to know about the ACCA approved employer. That will be done. Yeah, I think these are the major questions that all of you all have asked. We'll wait for a few seconds if anybody has any last minute questions, because if not, we can then conclude this entire presentation. So while somebody must be typing something, anything from your end, Sharik, which you'd like everybody to know?
And also, it was a really insightful and knowledgeable session, which was conducted greatly by Pratham. So what I would suggest that as you have already started your journey towards this qualification, and this is just your what I would say, this is just a conclusion of all the hard work what you have done. So take it very seriously, and fill your PR ASAP, because there are the reason why I'm emphasizing more that you need to file your PR ASAP is because there are certain requirements coming from employers. So there are different job requirements for an affiliate and for a member. So it's always good, to become a member ASAP so that you are, eligible to apply for those postings. So please, consider this thing, and we are always there. Zell Education, ACCA, we are always at your helm. So if you have any questions, you have contact details of Zell Education, and they will help. And if you directly want to speak to me, Zell will help you, get connecting directly with me. So that's fine. We are always there. It's just that you just have to, start and just let us know if you're facing any queries in between. Yeah.
So we got a couple of questions while you were discussing, �𝗲𝗍. So I'm just going to go quickly through them. Payal's asking the 200-word explanation. It's only to do with performance objectives, not work experience. Yes. 200 words was only for performance objectives, not your work experience. Second, Umang is asking that can Zell assist in verifying or vetting the PR summary? So Umang, we can look at it, but at the end of the day, your senior has to verify it. So what work you've done, like you show it to me, I'll tell you, yeah, it makes sense. And that's about it. I can definitely assist, but the verification has to come from your senior only. So it's anyways going to go through him. Next is, if I want to study MSc and accountancy from Oxford or any other university, is it possible? �𝗲𝗍?
Yes, that's a very good question. So if you wish to pursue MSc from University of London, then yes, you have to complete all your 13 papers, and then you can start with MSc. That's fine.
Okay. Okay. In case I'm not working under an IFAC member, how can I validate PER? That's a good question.
So that's fine. Even if your reporting manager is not a IFAC body member, so what you can do, you can get in touch with any chartered accountant or a ACCA member, and if they agrees to validate your PR, then fine, well and good. You just have to fill
and that
details.
Validation, 𝗲𝗍𝗃, has to only happen from performance objectives, not for the work experience, right?
Not for the work experience. Yes.
Got it. Okay. Next one is, does the Indian CA firm need to be an approved employer in order to fill the 36 months of experience? No. Janelle is asking, what assistance does Zell provide with regards to PR, such as training, building CVs, and acing interviews? So we've already done all of these things, whether it is helping. In fact, we are even going to have sessions now like this for resume building, for personal interviews. We've any which ways in the first phase to help PR, we've helped students get placed. So right now also, I don't know if you are on any group, but you would have seen that again, we've got a lot of openings from different companies. So from the PR standpoint, we can help with respect to placements. We can help with respect to preparing for them. We can help you guide whether according to your plan that you have today, are you taking the right steps? What should you do? So we get a lot of students who ask various kinds of questions, but I'm at this level in ACCA, I'm getting an offer in this job, this company. So we can help you with all those kind of aspects. Right. And last is, as of now, Zach is asking, so if a student working with approved employer needs only 36 months experience and there is no need for performance objectives. 𝗲𝗍𝗃?
Yes, you just need to, bring that letter from your employer, and also, but you need to write a summary. But here, the only difference, as I said, okay, we won't be validating with your supervisor, okay, like how we normally do. So it's just that you have to write a summary against each performance objective. That's it.
So Zaki, you still have to put the that summary of 200 words, but you don't have to worry about it being validated. Okay, guys, I think that's about it. It went for quite a long period of time. If there are any more questions at any point of time, please email us. Makarand Bhavna already there. So, I mean, that's always there. But if you need anything from 𝗲𝗍𝗃 or from ACCA, also we can help you get connected. And if there's anything else, do let us know. 𝗲𝗍𝗃, anything else last minute?
Sure. Thank you so much, Pratham, for giving me a chance to interact with your students. And I, believe that this was quite an interactive and insightful session for them as well. And please do let me know, if you're conducting any sessions like this future as well. I would like to accompany you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. Bhavna, anything, you can take it forward now.
Hello. Yeah, Pratham.
Yeah, you can close it now.
All right. Thank you so much, guys, for attending the seminar, and thank you so much, Pratham and 𝗲𝗍𝗃, for conducting the seminar.